We're live!
Hey, we're live on location in 100 Mile House at the Soulstice Tea Room and Noshery with, tell us your name.
Oh, Lorelei Snyder is my name. And then my rock star in the back is Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
She's off camera.
You're not on camera.
You're not on camera. You're fine. No one can
She's
see you.
terrified of us. So.
And out of the gate, I just want to say I love this name. The name of this place is so cool. I love just the word noshery. What a great word.
Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people actually ask me what noshery is. It's a British word for eatery. And I just wanted, it's different. We're the only tea room in 100 Mile House. And we do serve everything made in-house. So we've got the sandwiches, soups, and I kind of have cooking ADD, so there's always different sweets and there's different salads. And, people have asked me if there's a menu they can take home, and I unfortunately always have to say no, because sometimes what comes out into the display case is what comes up in my head that morning.
I can tell you, you have a very creative mind.
Yeah.
Just because I told her that I couldn't decide between coffee or chai tea latte, or chai tea, and then she's like, "Oh, no big deal. I'll just make blah blah blah," and then she's like, "Hot or cold?" And last minute I changed it on her, and no problem.
Yeah.
And she made me. Well, you explain. What did you make me?
So what I made you today is pour over coffee. So what we do is we use a lovely roaster from Quesnel and their Caribou Kahawa, a lovely family. We grind the beans fresh, and then they're poured into the carafe using a double microfilter. And I had some chai tea syrup in there, and then we got your cream and made you what you wanted. That's why we're here. I'm here to serve. It's for the community. I have the most amazing people that come through the doors. Like, every single day is just blessing. Yeah, thank you.
I'm not sure she meant you, but...
Yeah, totally. Honestly,
us.
and I've said to the staff, too, like, every customer that comes through, they're the best part of our day. They really are. The customers come in, they're amazing. I have a little girl that comes in, and she likes eggs only, and that's it. And so I call it the Linden Special. When she comes in, I make 2 eggs fried for her. And, their parents obviously appreciate it because, we're here to serve everybody, not just the adults. We want everybody to feel welcome and everybody to feel special, right?
You make it work.
We make it work.
Even if it's not on the menu, you're like, oh, that's no big deal.
I'll figure it out.
Work.
Yeah.
apparently there often isn't a menu anyway, so...
There's not really a menu. The only menu is sort of the tea. But yeah, we have the tea menu, we have the coffee menu, but, if you have an idea... I'll do my best to make it happen.
And
right?
this is really good.
Thank you.
No booze in it either. You don't need booze for it to, it's really good.
Although I will say, during some of my tea sommelier classes, I actually did have to make booze out of tea. We had to make alcoholic drinks.
Out of tea?
Interesting.
I didn't know you can do that.
What were some things that you've done? Yeah, exactly. Booze. Let's talk about booze for a while.
So in fact, you're drinking the Mountain Fog, which is one of the popular ones. It's my Countess of Earl. So a London Fog traditionally is an Earl Grey tea with vanilla.
Yeah.
I do make all the tea blends here. So I start with a cream of Earl Grey. I add the lavender, and then we add the vanilla syrup and the milk on top to make it a Mountain Fog up in the Caribou. We're in the mountains. Wow. So in the course, what I did was I called it a London Fogtini. So I took that Countess of Earl and I infused vodka with it. So we made it with vodka and cream and some vanilla syrup. Another favorite thing of mine at Christmas time is to take my chai tea, which... you're having a chai in your coffee. Take my chai tea and I infuse white rum, and then I heat some eggnog, and we have a chai rum and eggnog at Christmas time.
That sounds amazing.
Right? Which also makes it an amazing Christmas gift too. It's for multiple things. Yeah, we even did it with food. I've done it.
You don't serve that here, though.
No, I don't have a liquor license, but I can tell anyone who comes in how to make boozy drinks.
Oh my god!
Any day, all day.
So the infusing process with the tea then would just be having the loose tea leaves in the vodka or the alcohol? Is that what you mean?
Exactly that. And so usually what I'll do is I'll put it in a glass container of some sort, and I'll let it stay in that container for a few days, and then you can just strain it right back into the boozy bottle and label it and know exactly what's in it.
We have to give that a try.
Right?
What's your favorite invention?
My favorite invention? Tea-wise?
Tea-wise.
Tea-wise.
Or coffee-wise. Or bakery-wise.
Man, I don't even know.
Okay. No pressure.
I would say But if we're looking like and I don't even have any up on there, is my Om Shanti is actually my very best selling tea blend. And it is a blend of two different types of tulsi or holy basil. And in Ayurvedic medicine, that is an adaptogenic herb. And so it takes what's not in balance in your body and helps bring it into balance. And then to support the other systems, we have chamomile, anise seed, lavender, rose petals, and lemon peel.
Wow. So before we started the stream, you told us the background to your story. Can you repeat yourself?
I can.
Because it's really interesting.
And my daughter always says I repeat myself.
Me too.
So this is a no-brainer.
Perfect then.
So yeah, I spent just over 20 years being a registered massage therapist. So I've always been interested in natural health. And during that time, I was studying herbalism because I'm also a learning nerd. And in that herbalism course, I kept on reading that patients would be more compliant if you could put the herbs into a tea. And I love tea. I'm like total tea nerd since I was a kid. And so I just said that, I want to learn how to make tea. And so off I went, and I've done 75% of a tea sommelier program. So all the teas here, I don't do any growing or foraging or harvesting. I have suppliers that send me organic ingredients, and I make the blends. And then when I was diagnosed with some arthritis in my neck, still as an RMT, so I was doing both businesses, I thought that I could only serve people in healthcare, like being in a healthcare setting.
Right.
Was the only way to serve and help people heal. And so I took my lab assistant program, and I worked in Williams Lake Hospital for a while. And that was an amazing experience, but it wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. It didn't give me all the warm fuzzies like this place does. And so I ended up leaving there, and I was going to just do wholesale for my teas. But a co-manufacturer that I was thinking of working with was going to really charge me way over the top. And so I am a bit stubborn, a bit. And what I did there is I was like, screw it, I'll do it myself, right? And then I was going to just look for an industrial place, but I found this. And in the craft markets, people would say to me, are you going to open a tea room one day? And I said, I don't know. And it just came here, and it used to be Caribou Radio, actually, so it was completely different.
This building was?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this unit was Caribou Radio, and then we took...
It feels small for that.
No, yeah, it was pretty cool. It's one fellow that runs it,
Okay.
Rob Fry. He's like local guy. He's super cool. So we just changed it and made it this place,
Yeah.
and it really is. This was an act of love for the community, and we have, like I said, so many cool people that come in, and just everybody that comes in, we want them to feel loved and appreciated, and we're grateful for everybody. How do you like the red velvet? Is it? Yeah.
It's good. I want to be left alone now.
She's got her red velvet cake and the chai coffee.
It's so good. Yeah, it goes well together, actually.
Thank you. Yeah. And you had your lemon cranberry scone?
Yes, very good. Very good. And like you said, this is the
Mountain fog.
Mountain Fog. Yes, and it's tasty as well.
Thank you.
Big
I'm
fan.
glad you like
Big
it.
fan.
Does it taste like a mountain? Mountain fog?
Maybe like a mountain stream, because mountains are notoriously not liquid.
Mountain Stream works. We call it a London fog on steroids.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So, can you tell us a little bit about how, like, the process of blending teas works? How did you get started doing that, and what is the process like?
So in that was where the tea sommelier program comes in, and what's really cool is they also teach you Health Canada rules and whatever, so you're totally compliant. So I actually do wholesale and have my teas in some other places. But when you come down to the base, you want to start with a flavor profile, and there's a certain percentage of that, and then you want to go to, it's almost like perfume, right? So you get your base flavor, and then you get a supporting flavor, and then the accents come in at the very last minute. So the goal, especially with loose leaf tea, when you take a sip of it, almost like wine, you'll feel the
Right.
different notes roll over your tongue.
Is the aroma part really important for tea?
Yes. In essence, yes. So 80% of our taste is actually through our nose. And we have memory, and oftentimes when people say cravings, it's because we want a certain smell. Yeah, there's the science nerd. But so basically, it is that. So when you're drinking this, you smell that, and you smell the lavender in yours, and that evokes certain feelings and certain processes and certain pheromones. So it's a whole experience, and that's with the coffees, with the teas, with the food that we make. The idea here is that everyone has the whole experience, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just a wham bam, thanks for coming, see you later.
I had a bad experience. I tried pickled beer, and that was a bad aroma experience. Todd had some. It was terrible.
Did you try the pickled beer?
I did.
But you
I have. So I did. Stop saying I liked it. I didn't. I drank it. It was okay. I would probably not drink it again. I still have one can sitting in my fridge, and that's a very rare thing for me. But I have someone at the liquor store that I commonly go to has a tendency to recommend interesting beers to me, and that was one she recommended. I'm now maybe less inclined to listen to her.
But it was the smell. The smell was like, pooh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it smells like a dill pickle. It's you get what you expect, I think, to be fair, for a dill pickle beer.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked with dill pickle juice in your teas? Just to make this somewhat related to the
sorry,
conversation.
I have not, but I will say that I was once asked to make dill pickle soup, and
That sounds good, actually.
I did not make it, although, you know what, it's one of those things. I've heard people either love it or they hate it.
Yeah.
I basically said, find me 10 people that want dill pickle soup and I'll do it. And
That seems
they
fair.
never came up with 10 people, so I haven't yet to do it. But the offer's still open if anybody finds 10
I'm
people.
the second.
Are you
I'll be the second person.
Okay, cool.
Would you drive here for dill pickle soup?
I mean,
And coffee.
yes, and coffee.
Oh, and coffee.
Absolutely for coffee.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I don't think it counts if you're not willing to come here and actually eat it.
Yeah, no, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fair assessment. Yeah. Good one, Todd.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you're watching and are willing to travel to 100 Mile for dill pickle soup, here it is. We need 8 more, apparently.
But also custom coffee. Yeah, that's literally what I got. Custom tea, custom coffees.
Yeah, I just kind of make everything, and there's somebody that comes in and I make some of the syrups, so we have Italian sodas, and I make some of the syrups by myself. I'm drinking an elderflower Italian soda, actually. And so I have, one fellow, and he comes in for pour over coffee, and one day he puts some lavender in his coffee, the other day he put some elderflower syrup in his coffee.
Lavender.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm basically, if you can think of it, I will try.
Yeah.
Except for dill pickle soup, I need 10 people. Yeah.
Do you have a particularly favorite tea blend that you've come up with, or on the other end of the spectrum, something you tried that did not click, or any fun stories about your experiencing trying teas?
Yeah. So what?
What's the drama?
The drama in the tea blending room. During the tea sommelier program, we had to actually make 2 teas, one that, given all of our learning, should not work, and one that should work. And I made my 2 teas, and I thought, and I can't remember what I put in, I thought, this is going to be awful. And it was amazing. And the one that I thought was going to be amazing, I couldn't even take a second sip. It was that bad.
We've had similar conversations at wineries.
True, yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. And again, and this is where sometimes, and this is why it's fun. So when somebody comes up with something that I have not come up with, I'm totally into trying it, because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And the unexpected happens sometimes. And I love playing in the tea blending area. It's a thing.
It does seem like it would be like a satisfying thing to do creatively.
Awesome.
But there's also, I think, there must be some kind of there's a science element to it as well, I would think, right? As far as...
There is, and that's sort of like that triangle that I explained, where you have your base note, and then you have your middle note, and then you have your accents. But it's also always fun to kind of go out of the box, or out of the triangle, as it were.
I love breaking rules like that.
Right?
Yeah.
And my background, when you talk about creativity, I've done mixed media art, I've done quilting, I've done all the things, and I never have been able to stick with something long term until I found tea. Because really with tea, there is it's like an Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole that you can just keep going into,
Right.
and you dive in and you come out and you go yes, or oftentimes I would ask my husband, here, smell this, or try this, smell this, and he'd say, oh no, that smells great, and I'd say, but I think it needs, and I'd run back downstairs and into my blending area and make something and just add a little bit, and I'd come up and I'd go, okay, smell this. He'd be like, oh yeah, that's way better. And then I do the whole, as wives do, told you so. And then we taste it, and I usually get him to give me a 1 out of 10, and we go from there. So I figure with him, he's a hard nut to crack. If I can get a 7 or 8 out of 10, I'm good.
Is he typically a tea drinker?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
good. Okay, that helps.
Actually, yeah. We just celebrated our 11th anniversary.
Congratulations.
Being married. Thank you. And 15 years together. And he actually started, when we started dating, every night at 8 o'clock we had a cup of tea. This is long before I ever got into making my own.
That's cute.
So we have tea and treats, and we've been doing it for 15 years now. And now he drinks my tea because we don't have anything but my tea in the house.
Well, that's to be expected, I think.
Yeah, I try. I do buy other blends every now and then,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, we drink the Om Shanti or the Calm. He loves the honeyed chai, which is the decaf chai, and and then he's my sampler dude.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's a taste tester. That's a nicer way to say it.
For sure. So, for example, if somebody wanted to come in and say buy a certain amount of your tea blends, they can do that?
They can do that. I do have a display case, and it's a little pathetic right now.
Yeah. Oh, I was about to
it's
say,
fine.
can we show?
Yeah, you can
give
totally
a tour.
do that
Okay.
if you want to do that. And so the tea bags, those ones, I am working on some newer and funkier packaging, but those tea bags, they sell for $14 a piece, and they make approximately 25 cups of tea. And one of the really cool things is I have a lot of customers, and they are smart, and they re-steep. So they'll do a second and sometimes even third, right? So, you can go to the grocery store and pay very little for something that has a consistent taste because it's got 20 odd different blends in there of the dusts or the fannings. Or you can go with this and get that full flavor that, like I said, that rolls over your tongue, that evolves. And every steep is a little bit longer, but it's also a little bit different. So you'll get different notes every time you steep.
It's an interesting thing to think about too. Is this idea of almost like with a wine and the way it continues to age?
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the way you could.
Yeah,
go.
getting different flavors at different steep levels and different something that maybe a lot of people who drink tea might not think about trying necessarily.
No, 100%. No, that's actually a very good comparison. That's an excellent comparison, and I can't disagree with that. Right? When you drink wine too, when they said you sample your wine and you swish it around and what have you, same thing if you're sipping tea, if you're trying tea for the first time, when we do it in the sommelier program, we have these little spoons, and you're supposed to slurp it almost like you're slurping spaghetti, so that it hits all the areas of your mouth, and you get the full flavor, right? So there's a lot of comparisons or a lot of parallels in the wine world to the tea world. And in fact, the tea, when it's steeped, we actually call that the liquor.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
No idea, but in chocolate too, we call the chocolate the liquor. So, fun fact, I took a chocolatier course this year. So
How was that?
it was amazing. So I'm also a certified chocolatier.
So is that maybe something coming to the Soulstice Tea Room? Some chocolate?
We do, and I did. So I had some over the spring. So it went in the hot weather, and this is when I found out when it started to get too hot, I ruined 235 pieces. So when it cools down, right? Currently we're open 7 days a week. When it cools down, we're going to close on Sundays, and then I'll come in and do all my chocolating. So I love using my teas. Like I have a chocolate with the chai. I have a chocolate with the Countess of Earl that's in this one. I have a chocolate with my Ruby Red Sipper, which makes my iced tea lemonade. And then
Also, you're working tea into the chocolate.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so I make the bonbons, and the insides, the truffle part of it is the cream part of it is tea based.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, except for the one. I have one that I use Revelstoke's pecan whiskey, and I have pecan whiskey in a dark chocolate ganache, and then I cover it in a ruby red chocolate. It's a ruby chocolate from Calibo, and so that's got a bit of a fruity tone to it. So you get the dark chocolate, the whiskey, and then that fruit. Oh, it's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the cold weather months. I'll probably be hitting those in around September, October, and then through Mother's Day, chocolate is available.
My brain got thinking about cheese. Like there's so many different flavors of cheese. Like if you could flavor chocolate with tea, like you could probably flavor so many other things with
100%. Well,
I never
or
thought of
tea
that.
pairing. So, and again,
Right.
to roll back to the sommelier program, we did have to do tea and food pairing. So, like one of the best things I discovered is a smoked apple cheddar with something like my Kickstart tea, which is fully oxidized black. There's an Assam and Pu'er. Assam is a bit malty. Pu'er, once it's oxidized, they ferment it, so it's a little earthy. So you get that malty and that earthy, and then that smoky taste with that apple cheddar, smoked apple cheddar. It's amazing. And then you get to the lighter cheese for different cheeses and just different foods. You know, I once took a lapsang souchong, which is it's a black tea, and then they smoke it over tea leaves, so it tastes smoky. You grind that up as a spice. I put it in cream cheese, and I served it with salmon and lox, right, and capers, and it was amazing. And a tea affogato. Have you ever thought of that? Have you had affogato before?
I don't know what that is.
Have you?
I don't think I know what it is either.
Arigato.
Arigato, domo arigato for the affogato. Affogato is an espresso drink. So it's a small scoop of vanilla ice cream, and they pour espresso over it.
Okay.
Okay, I want that now.
So when we were doing the food pairing, my afternoon delight tea, it's a jasmine-infused green tea with rose hips. I made the vanilla ice cream. I steeped the tea and used that. I made a tea affogato, and it was like eating a cloud. I had to have two.
Wow. I want to eat a cloud.
I'm going to be thinking about cheese and chocolate and stuff on my mustache for the rest of the day.
Saving it for later.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah, it's just like truly the world of tea is incredible. And then that pairs into all the food that we make here. So I make things, I actually have, and I have to make a special order of vanilla chai cookies today.
Vanilla, sorry, what?
Oh, right, the coffee blender, sorry.
Vanilla what did you
Vanilla chai cookies.
Oh.
Yeah.
I would buy that. I would drive from Kamloops to 100 Mile over that.
And they're super worth it. Yeah, they're vegan, they're gluten-free. So we also try and offer a lot of stuff for people that have dietary restrictions.
Oh, yeah.
So I blend my chai tea into it. And so it's like a shortbread almost. And the chai is in there. And then we make a vanilla bean icing with real vanilla bean seeds. Yeah, it's pretty to die for. I've also done it with the Countess of Earl. And I've made different tea biscuits with that. Yeah, it's just, you can just go everywhere.
You're right, it's a rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole, yeah.
What's your favorite drink to make for yourself?
I don't know.
Currently, for summer.
For summer, I'm digging these. But if I come in, the Slay All Day, I really like. It's a tea latte. And so it is the Kickstart tea. And then we add salted caramel to it. And it tastes like Werther's.
Oh.
So I kind of, and my dad, his favorite was Werther's. So yeah, I kind of dig that. I can be there between that. I also drink a lot of the Mountain Fog and the chai tea lattes. And then my iced tea lemonade is my ruby red sipper. That's also a good one if it's really hot in the kitchen. Yeah, that one's a rose hips, hibiscus, and peppermint. And then we put a little bit of cane sugar in it and some lemon juice. And it's a really good favorite with young people too. I mean, everybody likes it, but the kids can have it and they love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was the... what?
We just look at each other like, you say something.
Is that the look you were giving me?
Yeah.
What was it like coming out of the gate with the tea shop? Was it immediately embraced? Did it take some time? What sort of immediate feedback did you get? Sort of what was that like?
It was unbelievable, honestly. We opened on November 17th. We actually opened the day before the Santa Claus parade.
Okay.
And the theme for the Santa Claus parade was Hawaiian Christmas. So I bought everybody Hawaiian Christmas themed shirts. And It was incredible. We've had such amazing support from the community. We feel so grateful, so blessed. I mean, I've only been here not quite 8 months. And we have regulars that come in, and we have people that come in when they come through town, and we still have people that are discovering the place. And so that's been that really beautiful balance, and you get to meet new people and educating them on the different teas. So I have my staff too. They learn about and they taste all of the teas that I make. So when people come in, I can say to you, if you don't know what you want, right? Even with you today, Kelsey, what do you want? Well, what flavors do you like?
I'm so indecisive, and then I get mad at myself. I just go with whatever someone suggests, but you just made it work.
We narrowed it down.
You made it work.
Yeah, and you just ask the right questions, and that's how you also get to know your customers, right?
For sure.
I noticed it just seems like you're the most popular person in this town.
Maybe not the most, but I try.
I think a lot of it has to do with just your business,
yes,
but also your personality.
Thank
and
you.
It's just, I could tell that like your heart is in it. And it's just, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's good vibes here. And I felt very comfortable and just...
And that's
I felt like I'm hanging out with a friend right
That's
away.
the goal. Yeah. Really, that is the ultimate goal. Is we want everyone that comes in to have the best experience, right? And the experience isn't just about having a good product or good food or good, you know what I mean? It's the whole thing. It's how we want to show all of our customers that we truly appreciate, money is not exactly readily available these days with all the different taxes and the rising cost of groceries. So it's genuinely our privilege and our pleasure to serve anybody when they choose to come and see us over any of the other choices for that day. And I do love that we have some great businesses, and what I love is that we also all support each other. So if one person's looking, I don't do espresso. I purposely don't do espresso because we have two great businesses in town. Right. And I send people to them, and they send people to me, and this is how we really truly build the best community.
There's no need to step on other toes, right?
None.
You don't have to be. You don't have to be everything to everyone.
No, and I don't want to be, because that dilutes everything.
Yes,
right?
I agree.
And in a small town, we all need to survive. And why would I try? I can't be the best at everything, so I showcase what I'm really, really good at,
and most passionate about, I think, too.
And
right?
most passionate about, and then I'm more than happy. We've had people come in that ask for espresso, and I tell them where they can go in town, and I'm like, I'll do a pour over coffee, but if you really want espresso, you go to the Chartreuse Mousse, or you go to the Rise and Grind, because they're the places where they make amazing espresso drinks, and I'll never do.
A lot of fast food places, franchises, they all try to be like the other guy. Like,
or to be everything, yeah.
Well, like Tim Hortons, they have pizza now.
I know.
Isn't that weird?
I thought that was hilarious.
So it's just that's an example of like, I don't know. I prefer Tim Hortons when it was just simple.
Yeah, donuts
so I
and
like
tea and coffee, right?
Yeah,
and that's just it. I don't compete. I don't believe in competing. I fully believe that there's enough people to come in and they want the variety, and if we can serve them the variety, it's best for everyone, customers and business owners alike. So there's no such thing as competition for me. I'm here, I do what I'm good at, and I'm more than happy to share other people that do what they're really good at and they're passionate about. And it makes our community of 100 Mile House and surrounding areas, it honestly makes it, I think, a little bit more magical than some of the other places around, because we are a team. Yeah.
This is, in a way, kind of one of the nice things about smaller communities is you have more of these sort of smaller independent shops like this.
Yeah, exactly. I think we only have the big ones. There's an A&W, and there's a Dairy Queen and a Tim Hortons. And that's it. And the rest is powered by our own residents, our own people in our own community, and we interact with them every day,
Did you choose this location because of the businesses around it?
This was a dream. This was one, and it just, like I said, I was looking for more of an industrial place because I thought that was where I was heading, and I had looked at a couple of other places along this strip over the last few years, and they didn't pan out. And then when I found this one open right on Birch Avenue, and again, when you guys come in, there's just that great vibe, right? And so it was just meant to be. It just felt meant to be. And I know there was more than one person looking at it, so I was so excited that we got it.
Girl.
Very lucky, yeah. And I have super great landlords too, so that's awesome. And then I got to make it completely mine. So we just ripped it all down to the studs basically and started fresh.
Was that fun for you?
So fun.
Yeah, that would be fun for me too.
So fun.
Yeah, it sounds like work and tedious and but that is fun for me.
Yeah, totally.
To just see it go from nothing to something.
Yeah.
And not just something, but something that you've imagined and something that
Totally.
you've dreamed and it's now a reality.
Yeah. And so one of the cool things that not a lot of people know is when I was working on the place, I have messages of love and support underneath the paint.
Oh, wow.
So I invited people over to come and drop love bombs. And that's part of what brings this most amazing vibe into this space is that I have messages underneath the paint from people in the community expressing love and support.
So if you want to cheer up, just get some paint thinner and read some old messages.
Got photos. Yeah. I was organized enough to take photos.
Did you imagine finishing them and then realizing you didn't have any pictures?
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. And there's another business owner in 108, and he made a great idea, and he was like, you should make a collage of that and hang it up. So, it's still on the back burner.
Yep.
This is always a place in progress, a work in progress, but it is one of the coolest things is I know, and there's messages and pictures from young kids that have drawn, and, it's lovely. It's amazing.
I just got an idea of painting like chalk paint on one wall and people doodle.
Yeah, I've thought of that too, but space is limited.
And mines can be dirty.
Well, yeah, not so much around here. Those are two of my everydayers. They live here.
There you go.
Yeah, they're awesome.
We're nudging up against lunch here, I guess.
Coming up there, yeah.
So quite a popular spot for lunchtime.
Usually, yeah, we get a little bit of an influx, and Saturdays are a little more chill because some places are closed. But during the week, it's like 11:30 to 1:30, and So Tanya and Bubba walk in, and we just say, "What do you want?" We make it.
Is that another one of those sort of? It's not officially on a menu. It's just, "What do you want to eat?" And you'll throw it together.
They usually grab stuff off the menu, but one of the coolest things with those guys is when I first opened, and they were in so much. When I'd make something new, I would come. They were my taste testers, and so the phrase, I'd say, "Oh yeah, it's the first time I made it," and then they'd use the first time you made it, yes, and I'd say #sorry not sorry, and so a few weeks back they actually brought me a T-shirt that said, "This is the first time I made this," and on the back it says #sorry not sorry. Yeah. So it's a thing. The #sorry not sorry is a thing.
That's pretty cute.
Yeah, it is awesome.
You fans, pretty much.
I have fans.
Yeah.
I have fans.
Which is very cool, I think, because it's, like as you said, not people don't have a lot of money to spend, and especially it can be hard to get traffic into a new business, and then I think doubly hard when it's sort of in the food services industry, because people they get routines. They don't want to try something new. If they do try something new, and they happen to have a bad experience. Not saying that would happen here, but just get something they don't like, they might not come back. Yeah. So it's pretty clear that you've hit something that was absent,
there was a
that
need
people
here.
are appreciating.
Very much so, yeah. And part of that comes from the vast selection of gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, vegetarian, to have more of a selection because there's a growing number of people that either by choice or for allergies. So, like one of my best friends up here, she's vegan and gluten-free because she has all the allergies. So I trained under her for 5 years before I opened here and learned how to make food that people have said doesn't taste like cardboard. How do you do this?
Yeah.
And in playing with some of the recipes, we've actually had people say, you know, the gluten-free sometimes tastes better than the original.
Yes.
You know,
That's true.
And I made, like for Tanya, recently I made a lemon bar, and it was gluten and vegan, gluten-free and vegan, so dairy-free. And Tanya said, you know, it tastes better than the regular stuff. So, you know, it's all about playing too, right? And trying. You know, you can't get anywhere if you don't try. And if I'm not trying, then why would anybody want to come and see me?
Right.
If I'm not willing to put that effort in, if I'm not willing to consistently show that I appreciate you and that I care about what you want to see,
Yeah.
you know, I've even made vegan cinnamon buns, believe it or not, by request. Yeah. And this week I'll be making vegan Nanaimo bars.
Very cool.
Yeah. And fun. And that's the fun part. That hits my creativity
Yeah.
part, right? So I get to play and I get to go, hey, does this work?
You like a challenge.
I love a challenge.
Yeah, I could tell.
Yes, I love a challenge, and oftentimes, I mean, there's been a few times where I've tasted something and went "Bleh," and get away with it. You know, like I made something and thank goodness, because I tried to do it just off of memory. I forgot to put sugar in it. Oh my gosh, thank God it was cupcakes.
That would have a minor impact on the taste, I think.
Oh, it was awful. Terrible. Yeah. And so they all just went in the garbage and then started again. Yeah. And you know, and again, playing and being willing to work with people and really get to know them and to know what they want or need. I believe that that's part of the reason that we received so the Reader's Choice Awards.
I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, we actually got nominated for 7 different categories, which
Oh my God.
blew me away.
What were the categories?
Oh, I don't even remember all of them. There was Best Customer Service, there was Best Caterer, Best Baker, Best Tea and Coffee, Best Place for a Sandwich, Best Place for Breakfast. Yeah. Oh, and Best New Business. Wow. And out of those, we placed top 3 in 4 out of those, which again had me in the happy tears because
Totally.
You know, this came around in March and April. We opened mid-November, so we were brand spanking new. That kind of recognition.
That would be so rare for such a new business, I think.
I would hope not, but I think maybe so. And honestly, like, my cheeks hurt. I was smiling. Aww. And we did. We won the best place for coffee or tea in 100 Mile House, and it's just such a gift. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Aww. And we were really proud. And I'll clap for the staff and the customers. But you know, that kind of recognition. And again, in a small town and where people are sort of used to some things and then bringing something new, blew us away, right? So every day's a privilege to be here. It really is. I can't.
Do your cheeks still hurt?
They do, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they're always hurting.
Right, yeah.
In a good way.
In the best way.
Yeah.
In the best way.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, when I go home at night, I'm exhausted because I come in early and I do 50, 60-hour weeks, and I go home and my feet are killing me and I want my heating pad and my dogs, and it's like, but you're exhausted like when you remember when you're kids and you just had the best play date?
Oh, yeah.
That's it, and you're exhausted, but it was so fun and you can't wait to go to bed and get up and do it again.
Make more mud pies.
Make more mud pies, yes. Okay, now I'm going to learn how to make mud pies.
Yeah.
That's going to be a thing next
That
time.
is
Gluten-free
an
mud
actual-
pies.
What is
Gluten-free
it?
mud pies.
Yeah, what is a mud pie? That is an actual dessert, right?
I think it is, but I don't know, but I'll find out for you.
But it's also kids just making a...
Are there sticks in it?
No,
Just a bunch of mud.
Not like
well,
mine?
in mine I won't make sticks, no.
Okay.
In mine we'll try and make it, I'm thinking some decadent kind of chocolate and, yeah, mud pie. I don't know, I'll have to, what is it, like chocolate and pudding? And
I think it is sort of like... It's got a softness to it, and it's I don't know.
Mud pie. I'll find out. I will find out next time you guys pop through. Just stop in and I'll serve you some.
That sounds amazing.
So when a new season comes along, like fall is coming up, although summer just happened.
Yeah.
Do you get inspired and excited when a new season comes?
Yes.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
What? Yeah. Why?
So, because it's a chance to bring out seasonal flavors. You know, like fall, we do pumpkin loaf, and I had some mini pumpkin tarts.
It's my favorite.
But I know, right? They're so good. And then this summer, sometimes I have these beautiful little, it's like a cream cheese icing fruit tarts, and I line the tart cakes, or the tart shells, I line them with chocolate. And then we put fresh fruit pieces on them. At Christmas time, I have an oat chai nog latte.
What?
Oat nog latte, yeah. Yeah, Bubba would know what it is. Chai oat nog latte. Eggnog latte, yes. Yeah, we do that. Chai eggnog or chai oat nog. And yes, people were very
The customers are
disappointed,
educated here.
right? Yeah. Thank you for coming in, everyone. So, yeah. And again, we get to play, right? So I make a mint tea, so maybe this year we'll see some kind of a mint drink come out or something.
Ooh, chocolate mint, good combo.
Right? Yeah, there you go, like a mint hot chocolate. It'll be in for Christmas.
Perfect.
I don't know, maybe we'll find some candy cane stuff. You never know.
Okay, but what about people who like that in the summer? Would you make me a mint hot chocolate?
I would
in the summer?
totally do that. I would do that for you right now if you
There's
want.
no rules.
no
You're not like,
rules.
hey, that's only a winter thing.
No. No,
See,
life's
this is why
too
we
short
like
for
her.
a lot of rules.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Life is too short. And every day is a gift, period. Right? So have fun. Like let's just have fun. There's no need to be too serious about anything. Play.
You're excited to host.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I bet you're a really good host at your home.
Funny enough, we don't often do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when we do, I make way too much food.
I bet.
Yeah, I make way too much food. But yeah, and it is fun. I mean, we have a great big fire pit, and so, every now and then it's just nice to get people in. And because we're in the Caribou, if you can stay up late enough, the Northern Lights, because I
Right.
live across the street from the forest, you'll pass my house on your way up to Williams Lake. You'll pass my house on the left.
On the highway? Oh,
Yeah, we face the highway.
Oh.
And it's the perfect place. It's right near the 108 Heritage Site. And so and we have a big fire pit, and we just sit out at night and look for the lights, and if not, you just see this beautiful dome of stars. And yeah, this is the most amazing community to live
Yes,
in.
it is. Yeah,
Right?
yeah. It's such a beautiful drive too. It could be easily a day trip.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
easy.
Absolutely. And we do day trips down to Kamloops too, right? Like, love going to Kamloops, love the local businesses around there. And
Even people from Kamloops don't like being in Kamloops sometimes.
really? Yeah.
I don't know.
People always get tired of the community they live in. I shouldn't say always, but a lot of times it's just
I'm just
you
kidding.
get tired of it. Like it's the same thing every day. But coming here, someplace new, it's kind of cool and exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And
It's
fun.
perception.
Yeah, and that's like the things, I mean, there's things in Kamloops we don't have up here. There's
Yeah,
things
totally.
in Williams Lake we don't have here. And so it's nice
Yeah.
to kind of do that. And 70 Mile, the Sugar Shack. And there's like all the cool, I don't know, there's the coolest places. You just kind of have to look off of the main drag for a lot of them.
Yes. Yeah,
Right?
totally. Do you ever have like events here, like paint night or like some sort of art class?
I would love to do that, and I would be super open if anybody wanted a paint night. And one of the things in the first year of business is getting your staffing sorted out. So, when I wanted Mother's Day teas and Easter teas, they didn't quite happen.
Right.
But I do host some birthdays and bridal showers.
Oh, that's so nice.
I have the fine china. I have been known to make chocolate mousse with real whipped cream and just fun stuff. And the little finger sandwiches. And I've done catering. And I've done vegan birthday cakes, even though I'm totally not. I'm learning now.
Yeah.
Because people have asked, because I'm like not a cake decorator.
Oh, okay.
I'm one of those, I can swirl it on maybe, but I'm learning how to use piping tips now and make something, maybe just a little, but the fact that I can make it vegan for some people. Or
That would have an impact, yeah.
I've magically become the person that people ask, and again, it's just a privilege,
Yeah.
to be a part of something that special.
Right. It's nice that you do both. Yeah.
Totally.
You don't just specify on
No.
vegan only or
No.
yeah. It's nice.
I like
Variety's
tunnel
good.
vision, right? So,
Yeah.
like again, the Nanaimo bars, full fat, full everything, full gluten. The red velvet cake, nothing for anybody with dietary restrictions and that.
Oh, I was going to ask, was that gluten free?
Not one bit. No. But that's the thing is, it's creating balance. It's creating selection. It's creating choice.
Yeah.
But again, there's that fine balance between giving people choice and trying to be everything to everyone,
Yeah.
right? So I have a few things, and there's a couple of selection for people with dietary restrictions, and there's a couple of things for people without dietary restrictions. And so, we happily serve most, and we totally understand if what we have that stage isn't your jive, then by all means support another local business, right? Because we all need to survive, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any? Sorry.
It's a team thing. When I say we all need to survive, we work. It's a team thing.
Yeah, because it is the community, and if the community itself doesn't thrive, then who wants to stay in a not thriving community?
Right, and just the vibe. If one person's out there and they're trying to get everything, it doesn't create that welcoming, warm vibe. And so, maybe the people that want espresso today might think of coming in here another day because I've told them of another great place to go. Or if they want pastries, I'm not good at pastries. I send them to the place up the street that makes pastries, right? You work as a team.
I like it.
Yeah.
Spread the love, and that's good karma.
Always.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Do you have any plans or hopes for things? Because, you haven't even been open for a year yet. It's probably too early to be thinking, like, what's going to be, 5 or 10 years down the road. But do you have any hopes or dreams like that?
I hope to still be here serving the community. One of the things that I do want to implement is I have friends that are woodworkers, and we've sort of been looking for the right fit for little cups. I want to do tea flights.
Oh, that is
cool,
such a cool idea.
So, isn't it? And so the idea that I have, I actually want to create a passport and have people come in and try different tea flights. And so once they work their way through the passport, they would then choose their favorite tea and take home a bag on me.
Oh my God, you're so creative.
Thank you.
In so many areas.
Thank you.
It's a really smart approach, too, though, that like, convince people to try all of them and figure out what their personal favorite is.
Exactly.
Make it
exactly.
a game, almost.
Almost, yeah.
It's a fun game, though, right?
Yeah.
And if you get tea flights, and literally, we're thinking about 3 or 4, and they're going to make me some trays, and we just have to find the right cups to fit in them. And you come down, and, again, the passport would be you get this flight, that flight, the other flight. And they're not big, so, if you really don't like one, it's not like you're drinking 4 huge cups of tea. You're taking a few sips of different teas.
Yeah.
And making notes and having your own, wow, I really like this, or this wasn't my favorite, or this, Susie might like this for a Christmas gift, or what have you. That's the fun of it.
And you could drive home.
And you can drive home and not get a ticket and not lose your license, you bet.
But flights, that's a common thing with like wineries and breweries. And why wouldn't you do something similar when you have the same kind of variety of flavors as those places do? And a lot of times someone's going to come in and look at the tea options and be, I don't know where to begin. So what a great way for people to get to know what the options are.
Yeah, exactly. And introduce people to something new and fun. Like, that would be a great thing for, say, a bridal party to come and do some tea flights.
Oh, yeah,
Or a birthday party or an anniversary, And, like, for kids, again, I've got a lot of decaf teas. If anybody ever wanted to have the place and bring, like, a little princess tea party or anything like that, right? Not even necessarily a princess tea party, but a tea party that's kid themed. We can totally make that happen.
I'm sort of changing the subject here.
Yeah.
I talked about tea bags, and I said, "Well, this is way better than a tea bag," and then you're like, "Oh, that's a whole other story."
Yes.
What do you mean by that? Is there something negative about tea bags?
Well,
like Lipton.
I wouldn't say negative. Let's say the difference, okay?
Yes.
Yeah, because everybody has different preferences. So when you're buying tea from the grocery store in the regular little square tea bags, traditionally what that is it's the dust or the fannings. So tea gets grated, all right? And then when they can't grate it anymore, it's those teeny tiny little pieces, okay? And then what these companies do in order to have a consistent flavor profile, they'll have teas from maybe 20 or so different sources, And so it doesn't matter what time of year, it's always going to be the same cup of tea. One of the things when you're looking at black or green teas in particular is that when the water hits that, there's such a great portion of water to the tea leaf itself, all of the volatile oils come out. So have you ever oversteeped a black tea where it gets bitter?
Yeah.
Right. Difference in mine with the loose leaf and the whole leaf tea, I've left my tea for an hour and it doesn't get bitter because there's more leaf. And this is again why, people can bring home the bags, but they can re-steep and get the different flavors. So you wouldn't take a traditional bag of tea from the grocery store and make 2 to 3 to 4 cups because it's bitter and it's not the taste you want.
Yeah.
Whereas with the teas that I make here, the flavor changes slightly, but it never gets bitter. Right? So that's really the difference, and they do that for consistency. And then again, there's too the idea with some of those mesh bags, there's the nanoparticles of plastic that go into our oceans and into our bodies. So I actually ordered in there, it's just unbleached paper. So, the tea, so I do put them in the bags, but, and they're, they say Soulstice teas, they're branded for me. But, so if you took these home, I also have strainers that people can take home that are metal, so you use those, but these bags in particular, if you were to, say, be camping or what have you, or just prefer the tea bag, you can throw it in the compost, and it composts correctly. So it is more environmentally sound. And the teas have such amazing nutrients for those soils. Really good compost.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So is this tea bag? You put loose tea into the bag?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask just for myself because when we're done the stream, I think I'm going to buy a thing of tea.
Which flavor?
Whatever's close to. I like Earl Grey, so whatever is.
I have 4. I have 4 Earl Grey.
Well, see, that's already causing me complications. You're going to need to narrow it down and help me recommend.
I think there's only 2.
2 to choose from?
So,
okay, that helps.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to drink less coffee, and I always forget to buy tea at the grocery store. And then this conversation has also reminded me that I do appreciate the flavors of a good loose tea over, because I bought a couple of years ago at the farmers market in Kamloops. I bought an Earl Grey blend from a tea place there. It was just.
I think tea berry, is it?
I don't remember. It's been too long, but it was great. It was really good.
In comparison to the tea bag.
Yeah, to just grocery store regular tea bag stuff.
Yeah.
So in the interest of weaning myself off of coffee, I'm gonna bring myself a bag home as a reminder of this fantastic visit as well. So. And then I'll need whatever's the best. What would you say is the optimum way for someone to steep a loose tea? Is it in a bag like this, or is it in something else?
Good question, Todd.
It's a great question. My preference is a diffuser, the metal diffusers. I do like them because again, I'm an environmentalist, so I try. Like even the bags, they're recyclable.
Yeah.
And so I do prefer a diffuser, and one of the reasons that I like a diffuser is that there's more room. So when you put your teaspoon of tea in there for your cup and you put the water over it, that tea can fully bloom. Right. So I would find it's not restricted. And that's why, like, these tea bags are great. I bought a whole bunch of them, but next time I think I might get a little bit bigger just to give the tea a little more space.
A little more room to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it's like aerating the coffee. When I made the pour-over coffee, like aerating wine.
Yeah.
When you give tea the room to bloom, I didn't realize, I made a rhyme. Give your tea room to bloom. There's my new motto. But it's true. When you get that and the leaves can fully unfurl, you'll get the full flavor profile in that drink.
And that sounds like another kind of example of science being a part of this process, right? That you've got to oxygenate these things. You've got to, like, again, talking about letting wine breathe and all this sort of stuff. It has an impact on the chemicals of the thing you're consuming and affects the flavor and everything else.
There's a definite science to making a good cup of tea. Part of it is that. Part of it is temperature, depending on what type of tea you're using. Like, for instance, white and green tea, you cannot put boiling water on it because all of the volatile oils get released right away. White and green tea, Here's a tidbit. Fun fact for you. All tea comes from the same plant. Everything. Green tea, white tea, yellow tea, black tea, pu'er. And the difference is how it's manipulated after they pick the leaves.
Oh.
Really?
So it's just the base.
It's all the same plant.
What is
Right.
the plant
The
called?
plant is Camellia sinensis. And so some of the things that affect the flavor is your terroir, as in the soil that it grows in, and also the area. So for Darjeeling region in India, they have two flushes. They'll call it first and second flush. So one is after the spring rains, and it's a lighter flavor. It's a little astringent. And then the one after your second flush, they call Darjeeling the champagne of teas because it's got that peppery astringent taste, muscatel. And then the second flush is after the monsoons. So the soil is very different. They have completely different flavor profiles. And white tea, it's the bud, which is a little silvery, furry, a little. So you've heard of silver needle, maybe? That's just the buds. And it's little furry buds, very, very light in flavor. White tea is the bud and the first two leaves. That's it. And then it's just dried. So it's not oxidized. They just bruise it a little bit and they let it go. Green tea, it's somewhat oxidized. Then you get into the yellow teas and the black teas and what have you. So it's all from the same plant. It's the part of the leaves that they pick and how they manipulate it after they pick it.
It's bonkers. I would have had no idea of that.
I feel like you should hold some classes. Like people, this is very interesting stuff to learn.
I have been privileged to do for Denise Sakai in Williams Lake. It's a service nonprofit, and they do team building things. And I have been privileged to go up there once, and I brought a whole bunch of tea, and people blended tea. They just made
that
their
would
own
be cool
tea.
too, yeah.
They made their own teas. We talked about different things, and they literally just got to choose. And we took pictures, and they were just so colorful, and everybody was so happy. And then they brought their tea home to drink, and it was super awesome. It was fun.
That I could see being
would be fun.
a one-time event to do here. Is to have a bunch of raw teas and blend your own. A couple of years ago, at the liquor store, there was you could buy this little pack of little mini whiskeys, and each was a different whiskey, and then there was even a thing that you would use to blend your own whiskey.
Oh, cool.
So the idea was that you could take these things, and there was a book that had here's some examples of half of this and a quarter of this and a quarter of this makes this, but you could also just go willy-nilly and mix them up and try them out, and that was a really cool experience as well.
I can imagine that would be. Yeah, absolutely. That sounds fun.
Yeah. So I think you could do the same sort of thing with tea.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Todd.
There's no rules.
There's no rules, exactly.
No rules. Go for it.
Exactly. That's in life, no rules.
Except for right now, we have one rule at the end of each stream, and that is: would you like to say hello to anybody that you know? Your mom, dad, children, dogs, husband.
Kelsey's grandma.
Kelsey's grandma. I actually,
Grandmas.
part of the reason we ended up here, I lost my parents in 2017, 6 weeks apart. This is my dad, the Big Kahuna. He's my right-hand man. His nickname was the Big Kahuna.
Nice.
And so, I'm an orphan, but I have the most amazing friends, and we have the most amazing daughter, Angelina. She is my inspiration. Hello, Bean. She's the most amazing human being, actually. She lives down on the coast again. I don't get to see her, but we chat, and she's my heart. She always makes me want to be a better person. And of course, my husband, Tim, who is my rock and always the reason why I'm in clean clothes and actually waking up the next day because he feeds me, and he's so amazing. He'll even drive from 108 to run chores for me when I forget something.
You can't beat that.
I'm sure you do things for him too, though.
We do things for each other.
Exactly.
But honestly, I got the better end. We argue about this. I think I get the better end of the deal. He thinks he got the better end.
That's a good argument.
Seems
to
pretty
have.
even then if you guys are both pretty satisfied.
Yeah, we're pretty cool.
That's the
He's
best fight to
amazing.
have.
We have a great relationship. And then, my dad's wife, I don't know if she'll watch, but Nancy, I love you. And
Nancy.
yeah.
We
So-
don't love you. We don't know you.
She's
Well, we're sure you're nice.
she was my dad's wife, and she took care of him when he was sick, and she is honestly, genuinely one of the kindest and most amazing people, and we still do talk. And my parents passed away in 2017, so we're looking on 7 years.
Yeah.
And I just love her to death and her family, and so hi, Nancy, and we love ya. And that's, anyone else that I know, mwah, I love you.
Customers.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the customers, thank you. Yeah, I'm a big person of saying I love you, though. Because I do. And again, it's good to share and spread that love, you know?
You're authentic. I can tell.
Yeah, I'm pretty real. I got a couple tears in the eyes, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm real.
It's fine. Tears are okay.
Thank you, yeah.
And so before we end, in case people don't know where you are, haven't been here, where can they find you?
Soulstice Tea Room and Noshery. So on Facebook, you can find me on Facebook. Look for Soulstice Tea Room and Noshery, and Soulstice is spelled with a U, so it's SOULSTICE. Soulstice Tea Room is on Instagram. I have Soulstice Teas, but I haven't been active on that. And we are located at unit number 1255 Birch Avenue. So it's one block off the highway. I think one block east. East. And on Burt Street, if you know where Fields is, we're across the street, and we're in between. Tyler's Paints is on the other side of me, and Caribou Buds is on that side. So you could also, if you're into that, grab something from the bud store and come and eat here.
And Fields. Fields is right across.
Fields
is right across the street.
What more do you need?
Fields is pretty
does
cool.
have everything.
They do. Fields is maybe one of the few places that can be almost everything to everyone.
Good point.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
We're gonna come back.
It's been a great chat, yeah. And let's go ring in my tea bag.
Right on, and thank you guys for coming in. It was such a pleasure to chat.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Thank you
Yes, thank you for the beverages and the snacks as well.
Of course, yeah. We got to spill the tea.
Exactly.
That's what we say.
Well, I didn't spill any.
No. Spill the tea means talk about stuff.
I know, but
you didn't.
I usually.
Did you know that I spilled your coffee before we started, though?
Well,
She did.
I actually looked at the stain on your shirt. It's
Evidence. I'm a hot mess, and I rock the hot mess.
No, but that's cool.
Right?
That means that's authentic.
It's real.
Yeah, she's real.
Totally.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye. Are you going to say goodbye?
I did say bye.